All right, guys, questions 6 and 7. Find the factors and zeros of 9x squared minus 6x minus 96 equals 6x squared plus 9. Again, zeros are what we get when we solve for x. I want it to equal 0 if I'm going to find a 0. And right now it equals 6x squared plus 9, so I need to make it equal 0 by subtracting 6x squared from both sides. I'll put that over here with the x squared, so we want to line up our like terms. And to get rid of a positive 9, I want to take away 9. Take away 9. All right, so 9x squared minus 6x squared leaves me with 3x squared. The minus 6x is just going to drop on down here. And the negative 96 minus 9 is going to give me negative 105. And it all equals 0. All right, I want to look for a number that they all have in common. That number happens to be 3. So I will pull that 3 out, and I will make parentheses. I will divide each piece by whatever number it was I pulled out to see what's left inside the parentheses. So when I do that, the 3's cancel. I'm just left with the x squared. Negative 6 divided by 3 gives me negative 2, and the x falls down. And 105 divided by 3, 105 divided by 3 is 35. Okay, so now I'm back to my add multiply stage. I need the numbers that add to the middle and multiply to the last. The numbers that are going to multiply to negative 35 and add to negative 2 are, and I know my bigger of the two is going to be negative. I'm going to go with a negative 7 and a positive 5. So negative 7 times 5 is negative 35. Negative 7 plus 5 is negative 2. That 3 is still out there, but it does not matter to my answer because all I care about are the x's. Solving for x's. So my answer is x is going to be the opposite. I'm going to have x equals the opposite of negative 7 is a positive 7. And the opposite of positive 5 is a negative 5. So my x equals 7 and my x equals negative 5. Let's see, what question was this? It's going to look like on your USA test prep, it's going to be written in brackets, and they will just list the two numbers. It will look like that. All right. Number 7. Which quadratic equation defines the function that has zeros at negative 6 and 10? This one is actually asking you to work backwards. They gave you the answers. They want the question that it came from. So it's like they gave you x equals negative 6. They told you x equals negative 6. And they told you x equals 10. If I was working backwards, when I had that 7, it came from an x minus 7, right? And my negative 5 came from an x plus 5. So that's what I'm going to do. This negative 6 came from an x plus 6. It's the opposite. And this 10 came from an x minus 10. Again, you want the opposite. All right? So then I'll just multiply these. I will FOIL them. First, outer, inner, last. X times x is x squared. X times negative 10 is negative 10x. And once I've distributed the x to everything in the second set of parentheses, I will distribute the 6. The 6 times x is 6x. And the 6 times negative 10 is negative 60. And then I will combine like terms, which are my ones in the middle. So I have my x squared. The negative 10 plus 6 can come together and give me a negative 4 x's. And then I have minus 60. This is my original equation. Oh, equals 0, of course. And there's that.